Hello, welcome to my YouTube yoga class. What I'd like to share with you about yoga is the way we can bring it into our daily lives. It doesn't have to be something, another to-do, another should that we have to find time for in our lives. It's a way of being, a way of experiencing our daily lives that is more integrated and really honors our whole being the way we are. So this class is going to be about using yoga for body acceptance, for mindfulness in our daily lives. So the theme, you may have noticed, is fall colors. I am in the fall season, the autumnal season of life. And you don't have to be there with me to enjoy this class. However, that's really who I'll be speaking to throughout the course. We are experiencing the release of, when trees, when it's time for them to let go of a leaf, they do it with beauty and grace. And that's what we're doing in this stage of life, is letting go of the stuff that's really not ours. It's the shoulds, the things that we've taken for granted, that we've been conditioned to think are our purpose and our goals, and they might not actually be ours. So we're gonna let those leaves go. We're gonna let those leaves go and really make space leave some space for energy, the energy to give to what we really believe in and what we really want to give to, and not waste our energy on all the stuff that is not serving us anymore, that is dead leaves that's time to go. So your first assignment, we're not even, as you notice, I'm not even on the mat, I'm sitting on a bench. The first thing I'd like you to think about is your movement. Every time we move, and every position, every posture that we have is creating, there's forces acting on it. So the gravity is a force. This wonderful book I highly recommend called Move Your DNA. What is her name? Katie Bowman. I hope that's right. Katie Bowman. I'll double check and put it in the comments if I'm wrong. But she talks about trees also. Have you ever noticed that a tree that's been and is in a certain place where it gets a lot of wind, maybe the leaves are on one side facing the sun, maybe the tree is a little bit balanced a certain way so that when the wind hits it, it can stay upright? That's what we're like too. So any forces that are acting in our life are going to shape our bodies in a particular way so that we can withstand those forces. So think about the force, the way gravity acts on your body, the way you position yourself. If you're always seated, that creates stress, that's the word. That creates stress on the body, and not stress in I'm stressed out, but stress just as a force. Stress on the body because we're in a seated position. That creates a certain stress on our psoas muscle. And all of these stresses shape our body so that it can do what it needs to do and do the best that it can do to survive. And there's no judgment around that. That's how life is. So if we can think of ourselves as that tree, it's still beautiful. It's still an amazing tree. It's getting all the the sunlight that it needs to make the chlorophyll, and I'm not saying that right. You know what I mean? It's feeding itself. It's communicating with its other tree friends with the ribosomes and the fungi. I'm probably not saying that right either, but you know what I mean. The tree is doing exactly what it needs to do to survive and live in community. It just might be a little bit crooked because of the force of the wind. And that's exactly how we are. So as you're going about your day for the next week or so, be mindful of how you move, what stresses are you putting on your body. If you're never lifting your arms, so this is me. If you're not lifting your arms above your head very often because you don't want to expose your meat sacks, then that's gonna create a force on the body that affects the arms and also the back and the meat sacks. So how are you moving or not moving? How are you holding back because you don't want to be seen or you don't want attention to be placed on you? And attention is another force that acts on our bodies. So how are you moving or not moving? How are you interacting with the world? When you tell yourself to stand up straight, are you forcing it? And do your shoulders go up? Or are you allowing, are you sucking in your gut? That's another interesting force that Katie Bowman talks about in that book, is when we suck in our gut all the time, we're pushing those insulation, I like to call it, and muscle and all that stuff, we're pushing it into our intestines and our abdominal cavity. So by sucking it in, what we're really doing is taking that space that the abdominal cavity needs for elimination and digestion, and we're saying, no, we're going to store this. We're going to store our meat belly there. You can't have it for digestion. So that's another force that acts on digestion. So where are you tight? Where are you holding? Where are you clenching? What we'll be talking about, one of the things we'll be doing over the next few weeks with this class, next few months, I don't know how long it's going to take. One of the things we'll be talking about is is clenching versus engaging. So when we clench, we're sucking it in, or we're holding everything tight to getting prepared for a blow or force. That's another force on the body. So where can you relax muscles? Which muscles need to be engaged to do the things you need to do, and which ones can be relaxed? So I'm not asking you to change anything in this next week. Just notice. So just become aware of where there's tightness in your body, how you're moving, which forces are acting on your body, what thoughts are causing you to act in a way that affects your muscles and your tissues. What are these forces that are acting on the body? Just notice them. And then next week, we'll start some movement. Thank you. See you next week. And last thing. I don't know what this is called yet. So this first month, let's say March 1st. March 1st, I will take all the suggestions from the comments for what to call this. So experience it first, be with it, feel how it feels in your body and what you get out of it, think about it for a little bit. And then on March 1st, I'll take all the suggestions for names for this style of yoga, or what this offers you. And the winner will get some magnificent prize. I have no idea what it is, but we'll get a beautiful prize that has to do with yoga, maybe a mat or something. I don't know what it'll be, but it'll be a wonderful surprise. And thank you very much for participating.